For today's video, I'm going to go over with you a productivity hack that's going to get you to 7 figures and beyond faster than you ever thought possible. Hi, my name is Isaiah Colton, and I'm a business growth expert. And if this is your first time watching my videos, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I got some really awesome content for you every single week. Now, if you wonder the difference, if you look at the difference between one entrepreneur that starts off in real estate and another, and then you fast forward 3, 4, 5 years, and you see one of them, they're doing 7 figures in commissions and beyond, and the other one's struggling to hit their goal, you got to ask yourself what the difference is. Well, when I first got involved in real estate in 2014, and I partnered up with 2 guys that had lofty goals to build one of the best brokerages in their town, this was one of the questions that I asked myself, because I said to myself, look, if there's a way to get to 7 figures fast, I want to know what it is. I don't want to just go through trial and error, and I don't want to be one of these people that's 15 years into the business still not hitting their goals and wondering what to do. And so I went on a journey to figure out what productivity hacks I could put in place to get there faster, and I'm going to share some of those with you today. So the first productivity hack that I want to share with you is simple but powerful. And what I want you to do is actually stay to the end of this video, because if you like this first productivity hack, you're going to want to watch actually this bonus video that I'm going to give to you, where I actually take you inside my private mastermind group, where people pay me 15 to 20 grand a year to coach them privately. I'm going to bring you inside that conversation. So if you like this first one, make sure you stay to the end, because you're going to find out how to get access to this private mastermind group that I'm going to make public for you guys to see. Okay, so one of the biggest productivity hacks that I've learned in life and in business is the art and science of saying no. And I know that might sound counterintuitive to you, because you're like, how do I be successful if I'm saying no? Shouldn't I be saying yes to opportunity? The reality is that you should, at this point, have a well-defined business plan. And maybe if you're newer in the business, or maybe you need to recalibrate, that's step number 1, is getting crystal clear on what I call a viral vision. See, a viral vision is not only for you, but it's anyone that comes in your world that can get excited about what you're trying to accomplish, because it's not only about money, but it's about how you're going to help the community, and you lay out a clear path about how they can actually benefit from this vision. And if that's crystal clear, then you should develop a business plan to go along with that viral vision. And that business plan should outline things like what your budget is, what your financial plan is, what your go-to-market strategy is, how you're going to run it, how you're going to execute against it operationally, and what your check-in points and your key milestones to know that you're on pace with the business plan. And most people have some sort of business plan. But here's what happens. What happens is distractions come along. Personal distractions, financial constraints maybe that they didn't expect, other opportunities, shiny objects, etc., etc., etc. And what ends up happening is they spent this time putting money into this business plan, time, money, and energy into this business plan, but they don't look at it ever again, and they're just kind of operating willy-nilly, hoping to figure out how to get to their goal. And that's the problem, is they're saying yes to other things besides what their commitment was to how they're going to execute the business plan. And so the first and most important productivity hack is learning the art of saying no. But Isaiah, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I feel like I have to go to every party, and I feel like I have to say yes to everybody because I don't want to hurt their feelings. Look, I get it. I've been there. I've made that mistake. But you have to learn the art and science of saying no and doing it the right way. So let's say, for example, you make an 18-month commitment. Like, you got an 18-month commitment. This is what I did. I made an 18-month commitment that I was going to hyper-focus, and outside of making sure that I was in balance with my family and maybe some vacations that were pre-planned, etc., we made a determination as a family and as a business to say no. And so things would come along like, hey, do you want to do this rehab property? For a season, not forever, but I said no because I didn't want it to distract me from the core business. hey, there's this unplanned event that I think it would be cool for you to go to. Well, is it in the budget and is it going to affect the business plan? If the answer is, yeah, no, it's not in the budget, and yes, it could affect the business plan and my overall operating based on the budget I have to actually execute the business plan, guess what the freaking answer is? It's no, right? It has to be no, because it's not part of the plan. Now, let's say that you move a budget around and you say, okay, this does match part of the business plan and this event makes sense to go to, but I'm not going to go to it just because I want to have a good time and party, right? Because that's going to take me further away from my goal. Now, that doesn't mean I might not have other events that are part of the business plan that I can't go and learn and have a good time. I'm not saying that. But it has to be strategic aligned with the business plan. Or maybe there's something in your life that's distracting you from staying on point with your objective and what you want to accomplish and what you want to do to get to 7 figures, okay? And you need to say no to those things until you hit that goal, and then you can reevaluate. And so the key to this productivity hack is not saying no forever. It's not saying no forever to new opportunities. It's not saying no and forever to different, maybe cool and fun things you want to do in your life, but it's saying for this particular season, until we hit 7 figures or 8 figures or whatever your dang goal is, that you learn to say no. And so there was tough calls. There were situations that would happen to me all the time. Hey, Isaiah, you're really good at sales and marketing, or you're really good at lead conversion. Could you take this consulting gig and I'll pay you 15 grand, 20 grand to do this for me, to do this for my brokerage? And I'd sit back and I'd have to say, it doesn't fit with the business plan. I have to get focused. And here's another reason why it's powerful to say no. It's time and opportunity costs. You see, you might go and make 15, 20 grand over here, but did it cost you equal or more because it got you distracted from making progress in your core business? So the art in saying no until you can get to the point where you're ready to say yes is the key. Now there's a very graceful way to do this. Let's say somebody named Josiah comes along and Josiah says, hey man, I'd love to do this business idea with you. And you instead of saying no, you can say, and like feel like you're coming across all rude about it, you can say, hey, look, it seems like a very intriguing idea. And I know that the opportunity may not be here 6 to 12 months from now, but for right now in this season, I have to stay committed and focused to what I'm doing now. But I love your idea and thank you so much for thinking of me. And if for whatever reason there's still an opportunity down the road, let's stay in touch. Who agrees? That's a pretty powerful way to say no, because I'm not insulting them. I'm being honest and true, and I'm being sincere, right? Maybe you feel obligated to go to every single party in your personal life or whatever, and you have trouble saying no. Or maybe you overcommit, and because you overcommit, you underpromise, or you overpromise and underdeliver because you don't like saying no. Maybe you start saying things like, hey, I really appreciate you inviting me to this event, but I just really, in this season, my family's committed to focusing on certain things and spending time with each other, focusing on our business. So until we get to that level, we're trying to stay focused. And but just please, please and thank you. Thanks for just thinking of us. So you have to think about all the things that are distracting you from the 7 and 8 figures. Well, but Isaiah, are you saying that I have to give up something to go somewhere? I don't know. You tell me. When have you ever heard that you haven't had to give up something to go somewhere better? Right? But again, it's not forever. You just have to pick and choose what you're working towards. And that's the power of saying no. And so if you want to hear the inside scoop on this productivity hack, and you want to hear some real life examples of how this conversation went down and some breakthroughs that my team, my real estate team, and also the people that are paying me to be involved in a mastermind group learned in this topic, then what I want you to do is click on the link below, and I'm going to get you access to that video. And I hope you just reflect and think about the power of this training. And again, If you have not subscribed to this channel, wherever you're watching this, or like this page, please do so now. And I appreciate if you share this with everybody, because there's a lot of people that need to hear about the power of saying no. Isaiah Colton, the Entrepreneur's Champion, and I'll see you in the next video.